Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about something else that I just observed, and I used to do it so much, but it's nice when you go out and you watch other people and you reflect on yourself. It's about not talking too much in meetings. I know we spoke about it before, and I think I spoke about it in hindsight as we were just listing some of the etiquettes in the meeting, but on this one I'm just going to focus on that one. Don't talk too much in meetings. I will explain why just now. Please stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting that bell button and that like button. My name is Lisema Matsietsi, and in this episode we're going to be talking about some meeting etiquettes that we once spoke about. I realized it as I was coming out of our offsite, and I thought, you know what, I've seen this behavior before. I was sitting next to somebody else who was getting a little bit more irritated, but it turns out that is the exec head. There was execs in the room, but he was the exec head, and he kept on getting a bit more irritated until, I don't know if you guys know about the thing called Discovery Insights. I will post the link on the description below. Discovery Insights, what it does is it asks you a couple of questions, a lot of them, and from your question is one of those I don't know if psychometric or psychological thing that they will group you to say, are you yellow, you green, or yellow, green, red, or you are blue. So a yellow person is a person like me, apparently, who just, go out and you meet up new people. You are like a sunflower, you are a bee, you chat all the time. And, we are more likely to say, check out my channel on YouTube. Now I got 600 subscribers. It's within ourselves. And that's why I find it easy to make this channel. Now, the red on the other side are people who are really winning orientated. If you are not talking about winning, they are not interested, which is contrary to the yellow. The yellows are talking about, involve me, high level stuff, let's strategize. Yellow person will fit quite well, but the red person is all about, if there's a price, if it has a price to it, tell me what's the price and tell me how can I get the price. So that's the whole idea. And the person who I was sitting next to, the exec head, he did put in his stuff. He said, I'm red, I'm all about winning. I know. But contrary to that, the whole room, because these are people in sales, the whole room was red. It was myself and the HR lady who were yellow, and it makes sense because we are playing a supporting role. I'm playing a supporting role from a strategy side of things. They are playing a strategic role, supporting role from the people management type of thing. But the whole of the room is supposed to be red. So what does it mean? When it's red, all the salespeople will be talking about is, what is the measure, how do we get it, how soon could we get there. That is all of their language. That's how they hear the language. But I found something quite odd. One person in there who's supposed to be extremely red was much more talkative than anybody else, talking about everything, needing clarification and understanding everything else like that. And it was quite odd, because I would understand if he was blue. Blue, if I may, also venture onto that side, somebody else who is more excited about the detail. Tell me more, how can I help? Tell me, how do I get this? Come explain this thing to me. That's a blue person. And those are typical of, scientists, accountants, mathematicians, because they just want to get to where the crux is. While the yellows are like, you know what? We set up a party, we threw up, it was quite nice. We threw up, the best party in the world. It was quite exciting. The blues are more about, tell me, how is it gonna go? While the red is gonna tell me about, is it gonna be the best in town? That's gonna be better than my neighbors. The green, which is the last color, it's much more compassionate. It's somebody else who will, go in and shed a few tears when you talk about something else, become emotional. And I think that's what Olerato is all about. Sometimes she's a bit blue and green, but green is dominating. Sometimes you would feel emotional when we talk about things. While me on my other side, I'm like, okay, they say, okay, you called me, I'm coming over right now. She's more of a, oh, hang on a second. How will it help out? What I wanted to do is, as much as we have those personality traits, we have to keep them in check when we are in meetings. This is how I go about in meetings, and this trick has helped me a lot, and it has been working for me, and I'm glad that you could use it, and I'll be happy if you use it. So when I get into the meeting, I ask myself this thing: I'm a yellow, I'm bubbling. If you go out with me, I'm more likely gonna talk the whole night about random things. So I keep myself in check. I ask myself the first question, this burning question that I have, that I want to raise up my hand for. Number one, is it relevant for the topic that we're talking about? That's easy. You can say yes, it is relevant. Number two, I ask myself, is it within my space of influence? So for instance, the people are discussing sales and I'm coming with strategy. I can raise my hand to say, hang on a second. If you're saying we're going to be in partnership with whatever, Pick and Pay stores or Woolworths stores, how does that tie back to winning in competition? What? You know, that's how my question should always come within the strategy analysis type of thing, or financial analysis type of thing. If it's a question about, you know, marketing and how to go out and, you know, put out banners and revitalize, the only thing else that I would say in there, if it does not touch the money, if I'm a financial analyst, if it doesn't touch the strategy, if I'm a strategy analyst, if it doesn't touch anything else that has to do with my sphere of influence, all I could do is the following: ask for clarity, offer a comment to say, this is quite nice, I never thought about it. Number three out of the list, limit your comments to as minimum as possible, because most of my comments could actually distract the meeting. So I always make sure that if I have something else that was quite nice, I wait for us to have a recess. Then I say, oh, you know what, Pete, I never thought about that, man. Jabu, yo, that was on fire, hey? I just wait for a recess. Make sure that my comments are minimal. Number four, we know that one, and we know we are all senior managers, most senior managers, you know, in boardrooms, more especially execs. I did not expect to be seeing people in 2022 still flicking with their phones and flicking with their laptops. We understand that you have a business to run, but try by all means to be present. Because the people that I normally sit, I like to sit next to the, you know, whoever is in charge, the biggest guy in there, because I'm coming from strategy side of things. I like to sit next to them, and I normally just look at their laptop, their computers. They don't work when somebody's presenting. They listen so that their question could be related to what the person is talking about. So please cancel all the distractions, because number five, your distractions, if you don't keep them in check, could actually make you make comments that were already answered before, and that is much more embarrassing because it can delay your thing. When you say, listen, I have a question, they say, listen, were you listening all along? Were you listening? So to avoid that, please cancel the distraction, stick to the question, make sure that you listen. And I saw something else that was quite nice on LinkedIn, different levels of listening. Please make sure that you listen, not to respond, but you listen to understand. And that's it. 5 things. Very, very simple. But when you go to a meeting, please, guys, don't just blab out. They said 2, 1. Listen more and talk less. And that's it. And that's how we can actually become better analysts. I've done that for a long time. And I know it goes contrary to the other thing that says you can't just go to a meeting without talking. I like to rephrase that. You can't go into a meeting without making a meaningful contribution. When you come over, if it's my meeting and I'm chairing it, believe in me, I chat all the time. Even my manager, she even battles to shush me down. If it's me that's chairing the stuff to say, you know what, the macro markets is this, that macro market is moving, this is what we battling with the data guys to give us this so that we can link this to our back strategy, that I can talk for days. My meeting. But if I jump into other people's meeting, believe in me, I will bend with the question and I will live with it. I will never bring it across, because I respect the marketing people, the people management or the HR people, whatever. All those people are smart enough to know their story. So that's it, guys. So thanks a lot. Please watch the next video.